Hello, lovelies. I popped this on really quick because look who come to visit. Look at the camera. He's not one that likes to be held. So anyway, hello, lovelies. It's Mama G Gear. I really wasn't planning on hitting the record button, but he walked by me when I sat down, and I was like, I'll take this opportunity to show you Oscar. He's doing great. He really is. He's hopping around. He's, one leg short tripod, but doing really well, and just loving him, and he's coming back. Maybe he wants to say hi. Quick, super fabulous update. Before, I just wanted to show you a few things, but I cannot conceal the joy, and I want to. He's going to rub on the tripod. Just deal with me moving around a little. Our sweet, beautiful Apollo. I'll try to throw a picture of Apollo here, like you haven't seen numerous of them, because in light of what we've been going through, we've been taking videos and pictures of him whenever we can. And I'm so glad I did that with Freya before she just weirdly died like that. Let me preface really quickly, okay? When Apollo's growths around his neck started to grow, we brought him to one of my vets. I have more than one vet. Okay, we brought him to one of my vets. They put him on a milder antibiotic and did intense blood work on him. I wasn't prepared to do this video, so I got totally thrown off because of Oscar, our sweet Oscar. Okay, so they did this really intense, through the gamut blood work on him. Now, in that blood work, the vet had said that his vital organs appeared to be functioning well. Okay, so that was huge, especially like his bladder. I don't know if they do his bladder, but his kidney, that's what it was. Because he's prone to, and he almost died with a blockage. So he's on special medication. My son, like I've said this all to you before, doesn't give him treats. Everything about this cat, he had, royal canin, urinary tract, dry food, tuna, all that kind of stuff. So the vet was like, go to Cornell, which we did, and have them look at him. No, my backup. So she said, that vet said, we'll put him on this antibiotic for a couple weeks, see how he does, and if it's, still looks like it's not doing anything, we'll put him in a higher dosage of antibiotic. Okay, so that was the diagnosis. Pay your bill and leave. Have a wonderful day. I mean, the vet's great. I'm not knocking the vet, but that was like, okay. So we had him on the first bout of antibiotics. And now, mind you, at this point, the growth was just on one side, but it was the size of, literally the size of a, what do you call those little oranges? Oh my gosh. Come on, they're so adorable, those little oranges. Into the sea, clementine. Okay, so I know I'm smiling while I'm saying this, but you'll understand why. All right, so that's what the size was. We started him on that, the antibiotics, of course, still with the food. He was also, it started to grow larger. So about over a week of the milder antibiotic, it started to grow exponentially. And then on the other side, we felt a small one, and then that started to grow, and another one on the other side. So he literally had a huge mass here, a medium-sized mass, and a smaller mass. They were all constricting. He was able to breathe. Through all this, he still drank and ate, and did not act in pain. He groomed himself. His fur still looked fabulous. These are all signs. He was also still very lovable and not reclusing. These are all little signs that you look for when a cat is getting ready to cross that bridge. There's certain things they do. So we investigated all that. We knew all that, keeping an eye on that. Kept an eye under his armpits and other lymph nodes to see if anything else started to swell. Checked his urinary, defecation, all of that, everything that can be done was being done, and more so because now he's a spoiled little brat. Not that he wasn't already, but we've been giving him chicken and tuna and in his medicine. Only cat I know that likes the taste of antibiotics. So anyway, so about a week and a half into that happened, then these started to grow, and then like overnight they just like blew up. Of course, I freaked out. I called the vet. They're like, well, bring him in, maybe he needs it. I said, no, I'm not wasting my, borrowing a car, driving 45 minutes to get to you for you to look at him when you looked at him a week ago, and it's just what he looked like a week ago, just twice the size and more on the other side. So I was a little snarky, but it's like, for them to say, oh, well, you should probably take him to Cornell. If you want me to pay you the visit, just let me know. I'll send you a check. Okay. Don't mean when it comes to something like this, I get a little rough around the edges to make my point. But anyway, especially if it's for the health of something else. So I just told them, I said, just send my records over to Cornell, the blood work over to Cornell. Got the email of the lady. We drove to Cornell. I think we dropped a video with the horse. I did one of the giveaways with the horse, not wanting to go back into its little trailer. And we waited there, and now the vet at Cornell Animal Hospital looked at what was happening, sat us down, and said that this, without the aspirating of the tumor, of the stuff inside, it's not definitive, but it's everything lymphoma cancer. Okay. And apparently the records of the blood work had not gotten to the vet that came in to see us. She was unable to find the records that my vet had sent over to Cornell, faxed over to Cornell. Got lost. I mean, it's a busy place. I don't, So they were at that point, there was a spot. She said we could leave Apollo there, and then the next day he would have to go to internal and oncology. They would do an aspiration, test that, yada, yada, yada. I said, well, my vet was reluctant to do that aspiration. She goes, oh, it's a piece of cake. If you want, you shave a little area, you put the little needle in, you aspirate it. If you hit a vessel, or whatever, vein, you just push your finger on it. She made it sound like not a big deal. And I have given injections and things to cats myself. I'm not even a vet. So I'm like, okay, well, Tony was a little bit weirded about maybe leaving him there, and understandably so. So we thought, oh, okay, well then we'll just go back and have our vet do the aspiration, especially since this vet is saying piece of cake, not a problem. I don't see where there'd be an issue. So we came back, called my vet, said, okay, we went to Cornell, yada, yada. About the aspiration, she's like, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm like, I will come in with my own needle, because I have very tiny little needles for these kinds of things. I said, I will come in and do the aspiration if you would just take the needle from my hand and bring it to, get it to the lab. And no, we can't do that, which I understand. God forbid. I mean, I'm not a vet and I shouldn't be in there doing that kind of stuff. Okay. And it's a 45-minute drive, so if I did it here and then drove it there, so let's just move on. All right, so Apollo has never actually had this aspirated. So now it's still big. What we did now, Tony and I, because the original vet said we'll put him on a stronger antibiotic. I happen to have had people antibiotic for when I just recently had my tooth pulled, but that stuff's still good. I had it refrigerated. It's good until 2024, and I never used it myself. And I was like, Tony, we have nothing to lose. Let's just start giving him my antibiotics. And I know that's probably wrong to have done that, but like I said, it's a distance to get to where we have to go. We don't have a vehicle, and we figured he's, all the research I did, we're looking at a couple weeks to 3 months of time for this cat. And like I said, this had just exploded in size. So we started giving him my antibiotics in the morning and at night, and the amount that we had the little vial for the baby antibiotics, and the antibiotics that he was taking prior to were human baby antibiotics. All right, we have nothing to lose. Let's do it. Okay, so we did it. He was having a little trouble, like it got so big that it was clearly impeding his ability to crunch hard food, and so we were giving him tuna with lots of water, breaking up the chicken into little morselets, yada yada. And he was getting annoyed with us fiddling all the time with his throat. So I didn't touch his throat for a couple of days, and left that to my son. It's my son's cat. And then I went in there and I'm just kind of rubbing on my buddy, and I feel it. And I'm like, this feels like it's smaller. And I said that to Tony, and he's like, Ma, don't give me false hope. Just keep it to yourself. Fine. Understand that. And like I said, emotional roller coaster. So then another couple of days, this is all just now happening. So another day or two, I'm in there, and now Apollo's letting me give him a full body massage. He's on his little forelegs, and I'm going up underneath his armpits and under his belly and behind his back, feeling any lymph node areas to see if I see any other growths, because lymphoma does spread. It does spread to the organs as well, allegedly, because I'm not a vet. Allegedly, I think this is how it works from what I've read. And then I felt his lymph nodes again, his neck. They're smaller. Felt them today, and they're almost all gone. There's still a little bit there, but they have shrunk to almost nothing. So, one of two things, and I'm going to say the one of two things, and then I'm going to say the other thing, is that this was some sort of very aggressive infection, because I remember the original vet had said that the organs looked good. Got a cat here in my mouth. Organs looked good, but the white blood cell count was off. That was showing an infection. That's why she gave antibiotics. I may or may not have said that in this video. I know I said it in others. Okay, so now these are shrinking. We're doing what the original vet had said. Really? This just wants to stay in my mouth? Always something in my mouth. And anyway, so one of two things is happening. It wasn't lymphoma, and the antibiotics are curing it, which would be amazing, a miracle. Or it has shrunk from here and it has moved into other parts of his body. So I just want to thank each and every one of you, because the power of prayer and positive energy does change the planet. I can't stress that enough. I know religious people call it prayer. Spiritual people like me call it positive energy. It is the same thing. It's sending out positivity. And when we all send out positivity, it manifests on the planet and perhaps the universe. That's why negativity is so dangerous, not just for you and for the immediate people that are feeling your negativity, but it affects the whole homeostasis of the equilibrium. Okay, so please always remember that when you start feeling negative, you're hurting yourself, but you're also hurting people that you don't even know. Okay, that it's all, what's that thing where if a butterfly flaps its wings in the other side of the earth, it can cause a tsunami on this side of the earth. I mean, that whole premise, I don't know if that seems illogical, but anyway, so I think I'm going to leave this video as just an update on our beautiful sweet Apollo. Hopefully I'll put another picture of him because he's deserving of at least 2 pictures in this video. And do keep praying. Your prayers and your positive energy are working. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not a religious person, but I do believe in a higher spirit, and I have thanked my higher spirit and your higher spirit and all of you for speaking to the higher spirit for Apollo and for everybody else by your positive energy. And I am going to leave this video at this. So this is basically just let's hope that this is what we are hoping. I know I'm kind of a Pollyanna when it comes to things. I always try to look at the positives, and even when the negatives are smacking me in the face, I tend to push those away and try to look at the positives. So thank you, Lord. Thank you, all of you, for all those positive prayers and vibes, and let's just keep pushing them out there, okay, into the universe, and maybe we can heal all the kitties. So, and not just the kitties, the dogs, the people, the plants, the planet, all of it. Let's just all stay positive all the time, as much as is possible in our days. And so even if you start being depressed, as I know, man, been there, done that, own the t-shirt. In fact, I probably own the shopping strip mall of that. Okay, so I know it's very difficult, but maybe when we start feeling depressed, if we think, okay, if I'm feeling depressed, it's going to be sending negative energy out into the universe, and I'll use that term, where let me smack it, let me try to think of something positive, whatever it is. Go look at little goats jumping up and down and kitties jumping sideways, and whatever makes you happy and makes you smile. Try to nip that in the butt so you can push out that positive energy. And I swear, I do swear, but I'm not talking about that when I said that, is, can you imagine if even one day every person on the planet took a moment at the same time to just generate complete, unselfish, unconditional love, positive energy out at once? We could probably heal the world. I think we could. Of course, stop throwing plastic containers into the water and a lot of other things. But anyway, that's all I have for you right now. I'm going to turn this off, and then I'll show you what the other video is, because this was much more important, and I hope you stayed to the end, and I hope that you all feel good and are happy for us. I know you are, and just keep the prayers coming, even if they're not for, there's always people that need your positive energy and your prayers. So wake up every day and do that. Look in the mirror and say, okay, let's say some positive things to yourself, and then spread that positivity out into the whatever, and let it just manifest in other people's lives. It's so beautiful. I know I'm such a hippie, and that's a hippie vibe thing, but I am, and I believe it. I've got living proof upstairs. Anyway, love you guys. Have a Yarnolicious day. Spread the positivity and love and unconditional love. And we will see you soon.